What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives here. Got my Gerber Ghostrike to look at today. I had somebody ask about this one. I did a discussion video on fixed blades for EDC, and this is one of the ones I had. So I've been waiting to do this review for a while because I don't like this knife. I purchased it. I thought it was really cool looking. It had some cool features, and it really let me down. So we'll talk about that throughout the video, but there's a lot of things I would have done differently if I was Gerber. So I'll give you guys the specs and let's get into it. We have a 3.3 inch blade, a 6.9 inch overall length, and then a weight of 3.6 ounces, and that includes the sheath. So I'm guessing this blade's more along the lines of 2.5 ounces, so very lightweight blade for its medium size. The blade is black coated as well. It has a ceramic coating on it. You got Gerber's logo there. On the other side you got Portland, Oregon, and then the steel type 420 HC. 420 high carbon is a very budget friendly steel. It doesn't hold an edge for very long, but very easy to resharpen, and I think it's adequate for what this knife is intended to do, and that is a self-defense knife. That's what Gerber says. It's kind of a last-ditch knife that you grab off your belt or wherever you're carrying it. It's lightweight, it's slim, very unobtrusive, so that steel doesn't need to be some hard use steel if you're only going to use it once. Hopefully not at all. So I don't really have any quarrels with the steel, except that this knife is extremely overpriced everywhere I find it. I paid around $45-50 for this knife, and I should have known that a knife that cost that much that had 420 HC steel wasn't going to be a good deal. The blade shape though isn't bad. I like the it's kind of like a clip point, maybe a drop point. It's got a cutout here for your thumb, but it's a pretty useful blade. They left the tip nice and acute for your puncturing tasks, which this thing is kind of made for. It's got a hollow grind on it. I have used this knife as an EDC knife, and it performs okay. I mean, it dulls fairly quickly, but I can get that edge right back. Another thing on this coating is that it wipes off extremely easy. The stuff that's scratched off is just from extracting the knife from its sheath, that's terrible. A coating, especially one that's supposed to be non-reflective and one that's supposed to be corrosion resistant, should not scratch off that easy. I haven't put this thing through a whole lot of hard use, so I'm a little disappointed in that as well. That being said, let's move down to this handle here. This is full tang construction. I don't know if I mentioned that. This handle is skeletonized, and then it has a rubberized mold over the steel to help with your grip. It's got a diamond texture on it. It's pretty cool. It's definitely grippy. Really grabs onto your thumb there, your hand when you're using the knife, but the ergonomics are absolutely terrible. You got a large finger control here that your first one fits in. The other two kind of fall in place, but your pinky's left floating off. So with a blade length of 3.3 inches, you have a 3-finger grip, which is really odd to me. I don't like just the shape of the handle. I feel it should be reversed from what it is. I wish this portion came out to around here. You wouldn't have any longer handle. It was just, I'm not sure why they designed that, guys. It's very uncomfortable to hold. It's extremely uncomfortable to use. You got some scalloping here on the bottom in that rubberized mold. That does help with your grip, but you can't get a very good grip with 3 fingers if you're going to use this as some sort of self-defense knife. So your pinky's just kind of floating off here. You do have a lanyard hole, and I tried even throwing some paracord through there to have something for my pinky to grab onto, and it just didn't work. And I thought maybe this would be better in a reverse grip, but to be honest, it's not much better. I mean, it fits okay, but I do not like the ergonomics on this knife. Also, the way it's skeletonized, you can't really throw a paracord through it. It'd be very difficult to do so with that rubber mold too. So overall, this is a slim knife, and it is very easy to carry, which brings us to the sheath here. The best design of this knife by far. This is just a glass-filled nylon sheath, that tough plastic, but it can be worn in a variety of fashions where you can carry it scout carry like this, sideways on your belt, in the front, in the back. Your belt loop goes through each of these, your belt, sorry. And it's very slim. I mean, you're going to get just a ½ inch or so off of your belt. I mean, you barely even notice it's there. And this knife can go in this sheath ambidextrously. So you can go in this way, yank it out, maybe, and then you can go right back in this way. So I love the sheath. There's no wiggle in it whatsoever. It's got a very secure detention in there. It's kind of hard to pull out. So the sheath, phenomenal. I love how slim. It's blacked out just like the blade is. It's got these on. This is what I'm assuming is happening here. You can see the wear on the coating, and I'm guessing it's just from some metal on metal action in the sheath. But I'd rather have a strong detent than that be, you know, not scratched. So I'm not too worried about that. The sheath does feel very quality, but the knife is not. Between its coating, this mold is also coming off. I've heard a lot of Ghostrike owners talking about that, and that's sad. I mean, I haven't put this knife, like I said, through a lot of hard use, so it's already fallen apart on me. You know, as a fixed blade, that's just not what you want to see when you paid $45-50 for this knife, and it just doesn't perform. Now, one other thing, I don't know if you guys know why this is, why they designed it like this, but this area in between my handle and the cutting edge, right here where this Gerber logo is, it's just wasted space. I think, preferably, if they move this handle, this finger choil up to this cutting edge, you'd have, a half inch more, maybe 3/4 of an inch more of handle to grab onto, giving you a solid 4-finger grip with the same blade length, same cutting edge. And I just don't understand it. And maybe they should move it back and sharpen this knife, have the hollow grind come all the way down to here so you have a longer blade for a little bit more reach. But this is just wasted space right here in the middle. It's not doing anything but displaying Gerber's logo. So very weird to me. I think this knife could fit in some sort of mid-size EDC fixed blade, but it definitely doesn't have the practicality that this Azula 2 does, or many other offerings that are, close to the same price. Granted, this is more expensive, but it's superior in this, than this Ghostrike in every way. And honestly, I would feel more comfortable in a self-defense situation with that Azula 2 than the Ghostrike anyway. If you guys seen my CRKT Pangolin, that one is miles ahead of this knife as well. So I don't know if it's my own biases here, guys, that I'm not a fan of Gerber. But I do not recommend this knife. It is overpriced, it has low quality materials, and it's got a weird design that is only saved by the sheath. This is the only reason I carry this knife whatsoever, is the sheath. Because it's so unobtrusive to have this on your belt and have, a folding knife in your pocket as well. So that was my review on the Gerber Ghostrike, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe.